In the previous video, we learned how to handle mouse interactions when writing tests. In this video, let's take a look at keyboard interactions. To help us understand, once again, I have set up some code behind the scenes. In the same counter component, I have now added an input element of type number called amount. I've also created a state variable called amount to control the value and change event of this input element. On change, we convert the value to an integer. Right below the input element, I have added a button called set. On click of this button, we call set count, passing in the amount value specified in the input field. In the browser, I can enter 10 as amount and click on set. The count value changes to 10. Our goal is to test this feature with the help of React testing library. In counter.test.tsx, add a new test. The name is renders a count of 10 after clicking the set button. This is followed by a function. We know we are dealing with user interactions, so let's begin by calling user.setup. Next, render the counter component. Next, we need to set a value of 10 in the amount input. For that, begin by finding the input element. Const amount input is equal to screen.getByRole spin button. Now for input of type number, the role is spin button and not text box. I would not expect you to know that, but hopefully you have now learned a new role. Next, we need to enter a value of 10 in this input. For that, user event provides a type method. So user.type. First argument is the element, which is amount input. And the second argument is what you want to type in. We want the text 10. Now we can expect the input to have a value of 10. Expect amount input to have value 10. To have value is a new matcher which we haven't seen previously. Make sure to add async and await, as every API from user event is async. Alright, now that we have the amount typed in, we need to simulate a click event on the set button. And we have learned how to do this in the previous video. First, find the button element. The name is set. Next, simulate the click interaction. Finally, find the heading element and expect its text content to be 10. If we now save the file, we see the test passing. Let's write another test, but this time to test if the focus order is right. Back in the browser, when I press Tab, the increment button receives focus. Tab again, and the input receives focus. Tab once more, and the set button receives focus. Let's add a test for this scenario. Test. The name is elements are focused in the right order, and we have an async function as the second argument. Call user.setup and render the component. Next, get hold of all the three elements. Amount input, screen.getByRole spin button, set button, and increment button. Now, to simulate tab, we can call await user.tab. At this point, we can expect the increment button to have focus. And that is the first button. This is another matcher we are seeing for the first time. Similarly, call tab again and expect amount input to have focus. Call tab one more time and expect set button to have focus. Save the file and the test passes. Hopefully, both the tests make sense. Now that you have understood what it means to test keyboard interactions, let me go over a few slides which talk about keyboard interactions in a bit more detail. The first thing you should know is that type and tab are not part of the keyboard API. Type is a utility API and tab is a convenience API. Now there is only one convenience API, which is tab, but there are quite a few utility APIs when testing keyboard interactions. The first one is clear, which can be used to easily clear an editable element. Here is a test of a text area element with a default value, clear called on that element, and asserting the value is empty after clearing. The second and third methods are select options and deselect options. They are used to easily select or deselect elements in a select dropdown or a list box where you can select multiple elements. Here is an example of a test that uses Select Options API to select multiple options in a multi-select dropdown. You can specify either the label or the value for selection. 1 and C here correspond to value of 1 and label C. We can expect the first and the third option to be selected. Similarly, here is an example of deselect options. We are deselecting an option with value 2 and we are expecting the selection to be false in our assertion. The last utility API is upload, which is used to change a file input as if a user clicked it and selected files in the resulting file upload dialog. Here is an example test that performs file upload. Hopefully, the code to an extent is self-explanatory. My intention is to make you aware these APIs exist so you can come back to them when a need arises. Apart from convenience and utility APIs, we also have clipboard APIs. Copy to copy the current selection, cut to cut the current selection, and finally paste to paste data into the document. If none of these APIs suffice your use case, you can rely on the lower level keyboard API. The keyboard API allows to simulate interactions with a keyboard. It accepts a string describing the key actions. For example, keyboard passing in FOO translates to F, then O, and then O being pressed on your keyboard. If you want to hold a key, make sure to use the greater than suffix and the / prefix. Special keys like Shift should be enclosed within curly braces. But this is all about testing keyboard interactions with React Testing Library. Let me quickly summarize what we have learned. In this video, we have learned quite a few keyboard interaction related APIs for use in our tests. We learned about the type method, which is a utility API for typing into an input element. We also learned about the tab API, which is a convenience API. We then had a look at a few more utility APIs such as clear, select options, deselect options, and upload. We also looked at the clipboard APIs to copy, cut, and paste. Finally, we had a look at the keyboard API to simulate key presses. With that, we come to the end of the 5th section in this series, which is once again a smaller part of the wider React testing library concepts. In this section, we have learned about the user event library, which is required to test user interactions. We learned that Create React App installs user event by default. However, we need to upgrade the package to version 14. We then created a counter component which involves both mouse and keyboard interactions. We have seen how to simulate mouse click events, keyboard type and tab events. We also learned about the convenience APIs such as double-click, hover, unhover, utility APIs such as clear, select and deselect options, and clipboard-related APIs such as cut, copy, and paste. We had a look at the lower-level pointer and keyboard APIs as well. Knowledge of all these methods will help you test any type of user interaction with Jest and React Testing Library. If all of this is clear, let's move on to the next section where we will learn to test components wrapped in providers and learn to test custom hooks. Thank you for watching. Please do consider subscribing to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.